family, it's me, Amy B. I'm just chilling. Just kidding. Welcome to part 4 of the end of chapter 2, where we've just journeyed through the pelvic cradle region. So thank you so much for coming this far, and the best is yet to come. But the grounding work and the pelvis work is so integral for your alignment. So to get into it, most of the damage that is done to the pelvic misalignment is done while we be chilling, while we're sitting and while we're sleeping. So I'd like to cover these integral postures today so that we're not twisting up the fabric and upsetting our organ function or overspilling our waters with a really tight back, or not allowing that flow with a really tight abs. So that's all been covered in the previous videos. I hope you really enjoyed them. So let's look at how we sit. How we often sit might be a little bit like this. So we send our sit bones in one direction, commonly followed by a crossed leg, maybe a little bit of this whilst working, or a little bit of this. But in any case, you can see how my center line being here, my pelvis is completely off center. I see this leg traveling down there. It's all pretty common stuff that we see. Might see a bit of this, yeah, just twisted around the other way. And like I explained in the introduction to this chapter, is that the more we do this, the more we have to, as our fascia pulls us and pulls us and pulls us. So when sitting down, in order to get you sat on your sit bones, you need to say hello to them, boom, boom, and drop them down. Simple. By simply taking them and then engaging and dropping them down, what we've got here is a nice bowl pelvis. So my pelvis is a cradle, my sit bones are on the earth, and my legs can sit out in alignment in front, and my heart can stack above my pelvis and my head can stack above my heart. And then it's a lot harder, even with this computer posture, to come into this. In order to come into a slouch, I'm going to have to move my butt back a little bit, and then we end up with this, either this arched back or this slump back. So simply by bum bum, take it, put it down. So if you sit down incorrectly, you realise, oh, I didn't put myself down properly, but everyone in the office is going to, you don't have to do it, obviously. Just take that and put that there. Simple. So that's how you sit if you want to remain in this alignment we've been cultivating, which I'm sure you do. And how about sleeping? So we spend more time in the sleeping position than we do in any other position. And newsflash, it's kind of the same as the seated position that we adopt. Wouldn't you say? that most of us are sleeping like so. Like so, a couple of pillows up there. And I'm in the same position as I was when I was seated, because my leg will come across here to play into that pelvic twist. Common, so it might be up here or down here, down there, but they're not often stacked. And even when they are stacked, you're going to get knee on knee action, which is not very comfortable, and more often than not you might find yourself coming into these pelvic twists rather than having uncomfortable knees. So instead of having two pillows at the top, better for your neck, bring a pillow in between your knees. And I don't know if you're able to see them, but how I am in perfect alignment. My pelvis, hip on hip, knee on knee, shoulder to shoulder, spine down the middle. Ah, lovely. So by adopting this as a sleeping position, it's so simple. Pillow between the knees. I like to put mine between my ankle and my knee, so it keeps my ankles stacked in alignment there as well. Some people go all out and get one of those long pregnancy pillows, and they can then stack their upper body there as well. It's so good. Honestly, it's life-changing when you start doing this pillow trick. And then you're spending 6 to 10 hours or however long you're spending in bed in alignment. So your fascia is going to be adjusting while you sleep rather than adjusting in the incorrect position. So what happens is when we sleep like this, and then we get up and we stand like this, and then we sit down like this, and then all day long we're in this position, and then we wonder when we try and move out of it why it's difficult, why there's pain, because there's friction being caused in the fascial web. Not only that, is this, what is going on with our organs here? They're all going to be getting really squashed in, squashed here. So if you're having problems like irritable bowel syndrome, trouble conceiving, regular infections in the bladder, the kidneys, and other problems in this whole pelvic cradle of all these delicate organs, consider that your misalignment is probably playing a part. I've seen countless people come to me with these problems that have a real chronic, which is a long-term misalignment. And when we start to work and release the fabrics of the fascia, their body can get back to what it does best, which is healing and flowing. So the flow of the blood and the lymph and the neurological impulses can harmoniously nourish our organs. So just on this note, if you are having ongoing problems with the organs in your belly, you're very tight around the hips or the lower back, it might be an idea to see a therapist, either a remedial therapist, which will look to remedy the problem, or a holistic therapist who looks at the whole picture, and they can help you to find some balance. But also, I'll encourage you to send some love there. By sending the message that something is wrong, it feels tight, it's uncomfortable, why can't I conceive, what's wrong with my bowels, what's wrong with me, then we're just really driving all of the negative energy, the tension, the I can't possibly relax because something is wrong vibes in our sympathetic nervous system. We're sending that message to these tender places. So what I'll encourage you to do, well, everything that I've encouraged you to do so far: align, breathe, make time for a little bit of mindfulness and a little bit of movement practice. So the integration guide from the 28-day course will be as follows, that you will repeat the 28 days until everything feels nice and centered for you, all the information is landed, or you can move to just practicing the mindfulness and then the movement episodes. So there will be 14 of those in total, so you could practice mindfulness and then a movement just 15 minutes a day, every other day. Really is going to change a lot. But just drop into that mindfulness, that self-love, and that centering and filling up your belly, and then let it relax. The Dantian breathing that we did in the movement practice. Feel that belly, expand it with nourishment, sending nourishment, love and space to all of those organs and their cells. And then relax. So we're not holding at any time. Hope that's been useful for you and that you can find ways to bring this integration in. Another little tip from me, you can always take little stickers. I like the rainbow stars. Stick them on your desk, stick them by your bed, and that's going to remind you of the postures to adopt. But what's even more effective is get a buddy involved on this process with you. So someone in the office or at home, as a lot of us are working from home at the moment, just to check in with you. How is your posture? How are you sitting? And if they come up to you and they tap you on the shoulder, as you were. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. I have so much admiration for all you will be. With love from me, Amy B.